Hey. Hello.
What's up?
Today we're going to talk about Tijuana, a city that has a lot going on. It's an ethnically diverse city, an arts capital, and has a powerhouse economy. However, it's best known as a border city, with its city limits extending right up to the division between Mexico and the United States. The fact that this border is the most distinguishing feature of Tijuana makes perfect sense, as its proximity to the USA built the city, and continues to be the biggest factor in its evolution. However, Tijuana is far from just a place where US citizens go to party. It's also...
Right, dude, there's a lot of killer food in TJ, bro.
That's not what's on the prompter. This isn't about food.
Dude, you don't like Mexican food?
What? That's not
I don't think we can be bros, bro.
We are definitely not bros. Tijuana is on the Mexican side of the US-Mexico land border, right next to the city of San Diego, California in the United States. Together, the international metropolitan area has a population of around 5.5 million people, with 2.2 in TJ and 3.3 in San Diego, and the cities are completely intertwined. The San Isidro border crossing, the main connection point between the cities, is the busiest land border checkpoint in the world. In 2019, 36 million people passed through it, whether in cars or on foot. The Tijuana airport even serves San Diegans. They have the option to check in on the US side of the border, walk across a bridge, and fly out of Mexico.
Right, but like, if you think about it, that arrangement is kind of nuts, dude. Flying out of TJ shouldn't be cheaper. I mean, like, the planes are fine, and the runway isn't like dirt or whatever. The reason you can save money doing that is that people in Mexico are a lot poorer than the USA, and that means businesses can exploit their laborers. Like that border, it's between one of the richest countries in the world and a place that's got a lot of issues, bro. And poverty is one of Mexico's biggest problems.
Right, and that's also why there are tons of factories in the Tijuana area, which is why the city is so polluted. In the same way that some cities in China are known for making specific products, like the Pearl River Delta city of Zhongshan and lamps, Tijuana is well known for producing computer screens and televisions, as well as car parts. And there's direct access to the US market via the San Isidro crossing.
But like TJ's biggest industry is totally tourism, bro. Whether it's going to bars and shows in downtown Tijuana, which are like huge, or like doing all kinds of kinkier stuff in the Zona Norte, the city pretty much deserves its Sin City reputation.
Sure, but it's important to remember that the word sin implies a sinner, and the people that sin in Tijuana are almost exclusively from the United States. The USA has a lot of freedoms compared to the world at large, but there are things that remain illegal, and US tourists will fly all over the world to experience them. With this demand, it's a no-brainer that Tijuana would supply the kind of tourism it's known for.
Yeah, bro. I go to Zona Norte, right? Like, dude.
Oh, no.
For the Elote, bro.
What's elote?
It's like corn on a stick with all this crazy...
Moving on, quickly.
Fine, bro. So, like, TJ's tourist sector serves a lot of US college kids, dude. In the States, it's illegal to drink before your 21st birthday, but the drinking age in Mexico is 18. So kids are gonna show up to get drunk. And like, I don't know about Green Dot, but like at that age, things got pretty wild for me and the bros.
Hey, I got wild.
What, did you yell in the library or something, dude?
What? Just because I
but
don't...
tourism in Tijuana more or less began during the USA's Prohibition experiment, which banned the sale and consumption of alcohol for everyone in the US. During the 1920s, it was mostly adults crossing the border, and Tijuana began as a more classy destination, with swanky casinos and restaurants.
Right, but Tijuana's history goes back a bit further. The entire area that makes up the San Diego-Tijuana metropolitan area was the territory of the Kumeyaay, an indigenous tribe that lived in several sub-tribes when the Spanish made contact. Kumeyaay lands basically stretched from Oceanside, California to Ensenada, Baja California, and from Mexicali, Baja California to the shore. Today, the Kumeyaay have around 4,000 tribal members living in reservations on both sides of the border, with a total population around 10 times that size.
The Kumeyaay had at least 6 settlements in the Tijuana area, out of around 80 settlements total, but all their land was seized by the Mexican government after Mexico gained independence from Spain in 1821.
A large ranch named Tijuana, which basically means Aunt Jane, was built in the region around then, which is where the city's name comes from. But the city really gelled when the U.S. border was drawn after the Mexican-American War ended in 1848.
Right, like Mexican citizens north of the border had to decide between staying in what was now the USA or ditching their homes and moving south of the border to stay in Mexico, bro. And a lot of the people that moved south ended up becoming the early inhabitants of Tijuana, dude.
U.S. tourism to Tijuana began before it was incorporated as a city in 1889, but the city's population was still tiny. There were 242 people living there in 1900, which kind of stretches the definition of the word city. But tourism picked up after gambling was approved by the federal government in 1907, and by 1910 the population had grown a lot to around 900 permanent residents.
But like by 1930, the population of Tijuana had blown up to around 10,000, bro, which was like a big increase. And like it happened for a reason. Red, you know what happened between 1910 and 1930?
Prohibition? Exactly. Nations surrounding...
Nah, bro. In 1924, dude, Caesar Cardini made a crazy salad in downtown TJ.
Caesar salads aren't more important than Prohibition.
Maybe to you, bro.
Whoa, the Caesar salads from Tijuana?
Totally, bro. It was just what
Nations
was like...
surrounding the USA, like Canada, Mexico, and the Bahamas, made fortunes smuggling alcohol into the U.S. during Prohibition. The Canadian city of Windsor, Ontario, which is part of the Detroit metropolitan area, was the Midwest smuggling hub. While off the coast of the USA, you could find what were called rum rows, groups of ships loaded up with booze out in international waters. Boats would come from the mainland, take a shipment off of the row, then speed back to the mainland to distribute the booze. But another way for a foreign nation to take advantage of Prohibition was to import tourists. Cuba, for one, took this tactic and ran with it. But Havana had been a major city for centuries before the 1920s and basically adopted itself to Prohibition. With Tijuana, entrepreneurs and mobsters were able to build the city from the ground up, and the area just south of the San Diego border became a Prohibition tourist's dream.
Right, dude, and like downtown Tijuana popped off for a long time after Prohibition became law in 1920. I mean, Jack Johnson had a club there, dude, and that bro was awesome. But like the most notable spot in Prohibition era TJ came late to the party, dude. It was opened in 1928, a resort named the Agua Caliente. The place had like a golf course, a racetrack, gambling, and hot springs. Totally nuts. Agua Caliente was a major inspiration for Bugsy Siegel, dude, while he was building Las Vegas, bro.
Right. The Agua Caliente is a pretty legendary place. All sorts of famous people from the era, from movie stars to gangsters, would visit. Rita Hayworth was even discovered there. She was a dancer at Agua Caliente for a while. Whoa, trippy.
Right, dude, and the Long Island duck and sesame sauce? Killer, bro.
Anyway, the Prohibition era also saw the beginning of Tijuana's black market economy, as rum runners would smuggle booze through the San Isidro border checkpoint. This industry is still huge today, although in the modern era, alcohol has been replaced by drugs and, to a lesser extent, people. The United States loves getting high, and that demand means that a ridiculous amount of contraband passes through Tijuana. Considering there are billions of dollars in play at any given moment in the city, violence over trade routes and the drugs themselves is a given. It's just a reality that buying drugs in the United States is supporting violence in Mexican cities like Tijuana.
Right, dude, and that's why TJ is pretty high on the list of the most violent cities in the world outside of war zones.
Pretty high? It's at the top.
I was building suspense, dude.
Building suspense? Wait, did you say Tijuana is the most violent city in the world? Well, it has the highest murder rate in the world, at least.
Outside of wars, dude, yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. It sounded pretty cool before that.
Oh, it is cool, dude. Some of the best Chinese food outside
Stop
of the...
talking about food. Chinese food? Tijuana is one of the most multi-ethnic cities in Mexico, and there's a huge Chinese population, mostly because there were direct flights from China to Tijuana from 2008 to 2020.
Right, and like, there are a lot of Cubans too, bro.
Wait, Cubans? A lot of people trying to migrate to the USA end up staying in Tijuana. There's a big Haitian population too now. Whoa, really?
Yeah, dude, and a lot of Lebanese, Central American, and Southern European bros too, dude. And a lot of Mexicans come to TJ from like all over the country. Jalisco, Oaxaca, Michoacan, the federal districts, Sinaloa, it's all over the place.
Right.
Because of that, dude, you can find some dang chicken mole in town.
Mole?
You ever had Oaxacan food, bro? Come on.
In addition to all that, lots of U.S. citizens are moving to Tijuana due to the income inequality crisis in that country. Housing prices are so high in San Diego that you can save thousands of dollars living south of the border, even in a really nice neighborhood with private security. Around 90,000 people from the USA live in Tijuana and commute to San Diego.
That's pretty nuts. Yeah, and it's got like a lot of hills, dude, and spots if you skate, bro. Like, and the waves can be like, dude.
Right, and we have to mention that drug cartel violence and other random crimes like kidnappings tend to happen outside of Tijuana's main tourist districts. If you go there and aren't an idiot, you should be fine.
But yeah, dude, it's a super complicated place. Like, it has a trashy side, it has a dangerous side, business side, the immigration side, a cutting edge art side, this dope food side, and like so many doctors, bro.
Doctors? Tijuana's got a lot of world-class hospitals. People cross the border for medical procedures all the time. Oh, whoa. In conclusion, out of all Mexican cities,
But like,
Tijuana...
Red, you gotta try the Tacos D's down in TJ.
What's that?
Green, you heard of Tacos D's?
Tacos D's?
Tacos D's nuts.
Oh, very mature. Anyway, Tijuana is a thoroughly...
Knock, knock, bro. You're supposed to say, who's there, bro?
I'm not going to ask who's there.
Who's there? Green dot, bro.
I really need a raise.
Dude, now you say green dot who, bro?
Red, please don't...
Green dot who? Dude, that's what every girl ever said.
You are beyond stupid. What sidewalk did they scrape you off again?
The one on the corner where your mom works, bro.
What is this, elementary school?
What is this, elementary school?
That's it. I'm done with this.
Shh, the librarians can hear you, bro.
I'm literally going to kill you.
That's what she said.
What? That doesn't even